I have 2 mashed bananas here, and I mashed them really fine. I'm going to try to make a banana cake because I always have leftover mashed bananas that I have so many in my freezer I can't even tell you. So I'm going to try and come up with some recipes for very ripe bananas, which these were. And you can actually chop up your banana peels and put them around your roses, bury them a little bit. And roses love banana peels. I'm not going to do that today, but because the season's winding down. And honestly, I just feel like doing some cooking today. So I'm going to use the same recipe that I used to make the chocolate cake that I made a video of. But I want to try making it with some different flavors because it's no dairy, no eggs, and it turns out really well with the chocolate. But I'm going to make a little bit of an experiment here, and I want to, instead of the cocoa, try adding some almond flour, and I'll see how it turns out. It might be a real bomb or it might be delicious, but I'm going to go through it with you as I make it. Okay, time to carry on with my experiment. So in this bowl I have all my dry ingredients. I have 1 cup of all-purpose flour. I have 3/4 of a cup of almond flour, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, not powder, and 1/2 cup of sugar. Now the original recipe calls for 1 cup of sugar, but I'm only using half because I have banana, and this banana was very sweet because it was very ripe and I don't want it too sweet. I also have a teaspoon of salt in here, and I have about a teaspoon of lemon peel. So that's it for the dry ingredients, and I'm just going to mix that all up. And the almond flour is kind of lumpy. That's just the way it goes. It lumps up. So I think I might just sift this a couple times. You can sift it through a sifter or through a sieve, because I don't want all those lumps in there. But I'm going to mix this up real well. Like I said, this cake has no eggs, no milk, and we'll see how this turns out. But if I could find a good banana cake that is frugal and vegan, and I can use up all those bananas. Sometimes I don't buy bananas because I know I'm not going to eat them all, and I don't buy a lot to begin with, but somehow I always end up with bananas. Whether I buy 2 or 5, it doesn't matter. I have plans to eat them, and sometimes that doesn't happen. So I'm going to sift this flour, sift all the ingredients together, and I'll be back when I add the wet ingredients. So I'm just about done sifting up this flour, and all I do is take a whisk and just go round and round with it. So that took the lumps out of the almond flour, and then I have some little bits here that aren't going to do anything with the whisk. So then I just take a spatula and smush the rest of the lumps out, but some of the lemon peel won't go through the sieve, so I'll just add that back in. So that's all smooth now, but I find that when I take a sieve and use my whisk with it, it goes really quick. It's much quicker than doing this. So there's the rest of the lemon peel, and it's all really well incorporated. So I'm just going to make a little well here in the middle because I'm going to add my wet ingredients. Now here I have the 2 bananas, and they were about 3/4 of a cup. So what I did was I added the rest of water. But then I remembered I had some of the coconut water left, and I wish I would have remembered to use that, so next time that's what I'm going to use. Because when you separate the coconut cream from the water, you have the water left, and you can use that in baking too. So that's what I'm going to do next time, but I already had it all mixed. So in here I have 6 tablespoons of just oil, no flavored. You wouldn't want to use olive oil. So just a bland oil. I have the 2 bananas and the water enough to make 1 cup. I have 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. You can also use distilled vinegar. And what else? Oh, a teaspoon of vanilla. So that's what I have in there, and I'm going to put the recipe below as well when I put up the video. So I'm going to stir this up real well to incorporate everything. And actually I'm going to use my whisk for that, because you know the oil won't mix with the water unless you mix it real well, and I want to make sure this is mixed up real well. Now I don't know if this recipe will call for more liquid. Like I said, this is an experiment with a different recipe that I had that made a chocolate cake, but I want to try different flavors of cake. I want to try the banana and the almond, and see whatever else I can come up with. So this is nicely mixed now. So, and once you put this with the lemon juice and the baking soda are going to react together, and that's what's going to give you the rise instead of your eggs. So I guess the original chocolate recipe was from the Depression era when they didn't have a lot of anything. So it's been, and now those types of recipes where they didn't have a lot of ingredients are actually really great for vegan cooking or vegetarian, or if you can't eat eggs, whatever. I just like the cake. I like the chocolate cake a lot. It's moist and it's really delicious. So, why put in more expensive ingredients when you can do this? So let's see how this looks. I've never tried it with the almond flour, and I haven't tried it with the banana. So, and I know in baking it's important to keep proportions, but I'm not a real good baker, so I'm just kind of flying by the seat of my pants. So I'm going to mix this up real well, and then I'll be back when I get my pan ready. Okay, I have my silicone mold here. I love this thing. Fits in my toaster oven, nothing sticks to it. But I have greased it. I used some Baker's Joy. Works great. So we'll see how this goes. And here's the batter all mixed up. It looks fine. Doesn't look weird or anything, so... But the proof will be in the cake instead of in the pudding. I tasted the batter. It's plenty sweet, but if you like a really, really sweet cake, like I said, the original recipe calls for a cup of sugar. I don't like real sweet cakes, but to me this is plenty sweet with the sweetness of the banana and the sugar together. And I imagine you can use any sugar you want. You could use coconut sugar or whatever. Or, the substitute sugars, the ones that you can use cup for cup. You can use that. But I'm hoping this texture turns out because of the banana and the water. I'm not sure if the banana makes it too thick or too dense. But we'll give it a try, because you know how I like to invent recipes. So there it is. I'm going to bake it now for Let's see. It's a 350 oven, and I'm going to bake it for 30 minutes. I'm going to just stick a pin in, see if it's good, and I'll be back when it's done. Okay, I'm grooving to the music. Anyway, this is how the cake turned out. Looks good. I have to wait for it to cool until I can taste it, and then I need to do a frosting on there. All right, I'll be back when it's cool and I'll taste it. All right, coffee break time. So this is how my banana cake turned out, and it is really, really good. It's moist, it's springy, it's not wet or doughy. It's really good. So if you have 2 bananas that you don't know what to do with, and I always have 2 bananas, like I said, a lot of recipes call for 3. I decided not to frost this because I'm not a big frosting girl, and I like this just as a coffee cake because it's that moist. You don't really even need a frosting. If you like it sweeter, you can always put some powdered sugar on the top, but I like it just the way it is. So let me just give you a little taste test. I couldn't wait, so I already tasted it. But as you can see, it's really good. Delicious. And you can certainly make this into a layer cake, and you can frost it. But I'm going to try some other flavors. And if you like it real banana-y, you can always add some banana extract to it. If you like banana strawberry, you can add some strawberry extract. But I really like this. And if you wanted to make it as a loaf, I think that would work out too. You could add some nuts or raisins and have it as a banana bread. It's very versatile. It's very frugal, and I would highly recommend this, that you give it a try next time you have some old bananas hanging around. I'm going to take my neighbor a piece. She just had her knee done, so I have to go over there. She lives right next door. I'm going to have a cup of coffee with her and take her some of my banana cake because she's the one that gave me the bananas. So anyway, that's all I have for you today, my friends. Put on some music, dance like nobody's watching, or if somebody's watching, that's fine too. Have some fun today. It's a beautiful day. Make your happiness. Don't wait for somebody else to make your happiness for you. Make it yourself. Surround yourself with the things you love. Make your home into a sanctuary. And stay away from drama people. That's not fun. At least limit your time with them because they're like, I don't know, they're like happiness vampires. They just suck it all out of you. So anyway, that's all I have to say. And I want to tell you guys, I love you guys, and I wish you abundant blessings. And I'll see you next time.